Willy Hutchinson defeats Craig Richards on a 12-round unanimous decision. The only scorecard, well, the only two scorecards I disagree with were the ones who scored at 170, 111 and 116, 112 in Willy Hutchinson's favour. The only one I agree with was the 119, 109. This was not a close fight. And I would imagine the one round that judge gave to Craig Richards was the 11th round, which is really the only round you can look at clearly, definitively, and say, yes, Craig Richards won that round. Every other round was Willy Hutchinson, and Willy Hutchinson big. This was a great... I really enjoyed this fight. It was really, really good. This kicked off the show. I apologise wholeheartedly to Willy Hutchinson. I wrote him off completely. Didn't think he'd have a sniff of a prayer. Boy, was I wrong. You know, when this fight was announced first, again, I was very dismissive of it. Went to the press conference back in April, the kickoff press conference for this in London. And I met up briefly after Rob Tebbert for a little bit, chatted with him, and I said, look, I'm not really keen on this fight because I don't think Willy Hutchinson has much of a chance. And he said, well, based off of what? And I said, look, he's never really set the world alight. The opponents have been... And then the one time he did step up against Lennox Clark, well, you know, he was badly knocked out in that fight. And he said, yeah, but he was a lot younger then. He looked like a boy, really, in the ring against Lennox Clark. Now he's developed his man strength. He's older and he is a good fighter. He was right, 100%. This was a really good performance. I also want to say that I'm not taking away from Willy Hutchinson, certainly not, but that's probably the worst I've seen Craig Richards look. He looked abysmal in there. And Willy Hutchinson did a much better job on him than Joshua Buatsi did, by far. By far, it wasn't even close, this fight. The Buatsi fight was very close. Yeah, Richards just came out looking just like an old man in there, forcing a lot of his shots. I know he's had injuries in the past, which probably haven't helped. He's 34 years old, but again, he's not a fighter who's taken a great deal of punishment in his career. But he was forcing a lot of his shots. He was coming in very straight, in straight lines. You know, wasn't giving any movement. Hutchinson was switching a lot, which is not something you'd really associate with Willy Hutchinson. He was switch hitting a lot. I think that was offsetting Craig Richards. Richards has always shown a good chin. And he needed it because he took plenty of flush punches from Willy Hutchinson in there. Even the rounds where Richard would kind of get through and land. I know Barker on commentary was trying to make it out like, oh, wow, you know, like it was something amazing. But for every kind of straight right hand that Richards landed, Willy Hutchinson was retaliating in kind with hooks, straight right hands to the body as well. You see early on in this fight, what Hutchinson was doing was he was landing with the right hand to the head, but he was also sneaking it in, smack like that to the body. And you could see with Craig Richards at times when he landed that body shot, Richards' legs would just kind of stiffen. So he was really feeling them and feeling the work and feeling the pace. It wasn't fought at a frantic pace early on. It was really just Willy Hutchinson doing what he needed to do and Craig Richards just kind of basically taking it well now, but just taking it. As the fight progressed and Richards started falling further behind, there was a lot more urgency to his work. He was starting to throw a few more shots. But Willy Hutchinson, to his credit, and I think Willy Hutchinson was feeling the pressure to an extent because he was warned for holding the arms a couple of times by the referee, even brought him to the corner at one stage. I think he was feeling it. Round number 9, which was a really good round, it was a round in which you really saw what... This is basically 101, right? When the fighter is pressuring you, he cannot get any of his shots off. So he was missing a lot. Craig Richards, obviously. And Willy Hutchinson would just boom, 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 boom. Whether it was a jab, a right hook, or right hand, whatever it was, he was just landing. So even though Craig Richards is the busier guy, he's forcing the pace, he's doing absolutely nothing with it. You have to give it to the guy landing the cleaner shots. And that was kind of, in the second half, more the story. Till round 10 came about. And then both guys just swang for the fences. And in a round in which Craig Richards did appear to kind of stun Willy Hutchinson ever so slightly. I think Hutchinson was kind of moving back with his head a little bit too much. He was kind of moving to the side too much in range. He got away with it a few times. This time he actually got clipped a little bit. I don't want to say he was stunned. I would say he was maybe a little bit stunned, but not enough that you could really jump on him. Then it just turned into, you know, boom, 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 boom. And Richards is lucky he didn't get a knockdown called on him, because there was a point in that round where he did kind of go into the ropes and kind of went, like, sagged into the ropes a little bit. Referee could have, because I wouldn't have complained, could have ruled a knockdown on it. I'm not necessarily saying it's a smoking gun that he should have. It's really down to his interpretation. But Craig Richards might be lucky not to get a knockdown scored against him. Round 11 he came back into, I think it was Willy Hutchinson really just trying to get as much air into his lungs as he can for round 12, because he took a bit of punishment in that round. You know, he took a big flush right hand that really did. Now, that one did appear to stiffen the legs of Willy Hutchinson a bit in round 11. Came through that round, actually had a good little end, like had a nice little flurry at the end of the round. Came on good at the end, and then ultimately was able to win the 12th round on, I would imagine he won it on everyone's scorecard. And yeah, I, again, got this one way wrong. I really didn't give Willy Hutchinson a prayer. I thought Anthony Yarde should have been there because that's a pretty much a slam dunk win. Willy Hutchinson, he's stepping into the role as Frank Warren's new favourite light heavyweight, it would seem. That's a 1 point for Queensberry. And given the fact that I expect a lot of the main events to end in a knockout, that 1 point could be crucial by the end of it. Because I wouldn't rule out, I'll say, watch now, he'll lose now. I wouldn't rule out Nicky Ball winning. Definitely I'm going with Zhang to win. If those two guys come good and Hamza Shearers comes good, that could be a fairly slam dunk win for Queensberry. I think the predictions I seen online, a lot were going, as I was, Craig Richards by KO. So, could be an interesting night. Let me know your thoughts. We will do a watch along probably for the last two fights, maybe the end of the Bivol fight start. This Bivol fight doesn't count towards the points tally at the end. But yeah, I'll chat to you then. I'll probably get another one in before then. Probably Hamza Shearers or Nicky Ball. But anyway, I'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you could. And subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. Peace.